Salutations, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland. So here I am on Paulton Square in London, and that's Samuel Beckett's house behind me, though he only lived here for a few months in 1934. So Samuel Beckett was born in Dublin. His father was a well-to-do engineer. They're part of the Protestant minority, although there were a considerable number of them in Dublin at the time. He went to Portora Royal School, I'm pretty sure, in Fermanagh, the same school that Oscar Wilde had attended, and he went to some school in Dublin for a while. I think it was Dublin High School, which is a Church of Ireland school as well. And then he went up to Trinity College Dublin. So he specialised in languages, French and German. Outstanding at those, didn't seem to get the mathematical gene that some of the rest of his family had. When he graduated, he lectured at Trinity for a while, but pretty soon he left Ireland and he went to France, and he spent almost the whole of the rest of his life in Paris. So he wrote some of his works in French and then translated them into English. He found work as a translator as well. Why did he go to France? Obviously he was a Francophile, so maybe he's attracted to Gallic culture and everything else. Ireland in the 1920s, well, the majority of Ireland had just split from the UK, and then we'd introduced censorship. So perhaps he felt that there was this overweening influence of the Catholic Church, and some of our writers went abroad. Because the famous Irish writers, like majority of them, say 8 out of 10, are Protestants for some reason. The famous Catholic ones are Thomas More, James Joyce, Brendan Behan, Patrick Kavanagh, probably a few others. You might include Roddy Doyle if you're going to come right down to today. But back to Samuel Beckett. He was this craggy-faced, austere, perhaps slightly distant figure. Certainly liked women. Didn't drink very much, so the stereotype is not true on that one. The only thing by him I've read is Waiting for Godot, which is quite tedious. I must confess he's not to my taste, and I've seen it as a play as well, Waiting for Godot. So he was a modernist. It's really the plot development that is unimportant. It's the characterization that matters more, or was a bit enigmatic. Anyway, they say he helped the French resistance during the Second World War, and he knew all the renowned French writers in the mid-20th century, like Jean-Paul Sartre, Simone de Beauvoir, and others. So he seldom returned to Ireland, and indeed he died in Paris in 1989. He got the Nobel Prize for Literature. I don't quite remember when. A few of our people have got one. Seamus Heaney, how could I forget another famous Catholic writer from Ireland? He wrote prose almost exclusively. Obviously Heaney was a poet. Anyway, who else has got the Nobel Prize for Literature from Ireland? I can't think. George Bernard Shaw, did he get it? We might have had a couple more. All right, so that is Samuel Beckett, about whom I don't know a great deal actually. Was fond of his black polo necks. This is not a polo neck, by the way. It's a neck warmer. It's separate. All right. So Professor Fitzroy Foster used to affect them as well. Right, that's enough from me, so please follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and thank you for donations on PayPal, georgecallahan79@gmail.com, and make sure you book online lessons with me at any humanities subject, including Francais. I'll be your tour guide in London if this pandemic ever ends. Toodle pip.